So now what I do when I teach, I teach 5 years. So pretty much we'll future pace of 5 years, and we'll think about what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? Like, what is it? So they get downloaded. So this is the theory of it. So video 1, then they get people who have watched 3 seconds of that, then they get targeted with video 2. People who watch 3 seconds of that get video target 3, 4, 5, and so we've funneled this whole thing, and then we just do a direct call to action to these people, versus doing a call to action like, you know, a lead gen to do a fucking big broad audience, because everyone's trying to do that. So I'm like funneling them down the thing where they just get familiar with me, and then the call to action. So my theory was, I'm like, I want to condense that exposure as fast as possible. Because if they see me one day, then they see me again in 2 months, they've forgotten me. If they see me today, then see me again tonight, they know me. And if they see me again tomorrow morning, then again, and then a TikTok video and Instagram, and they see fucking 20 of me. Like, the goal is to get 20 exposures in the shortest amount of time possible, really. So I was like, how can they get my fucking book within, like, I want to see that ad within a week and a half, really, of their first exposure of me. So that's what makes sense for me.
Yeah. I'm not the ad master, but I think that like that'd just be like ad spend, because it would keep targeting people. Yeah, and then you'd like just, you know,
well, like good or bad? What are you saying?
As in like, or ad spend, but what you do is you just duplicate. You know, have you seen in the ads? How you got like campaigns?
Like my own results on them?
No, just like the actual campaign itself. Like,
I haven't seen my own ad yet.
Oh yeah, you don't even have to then worry about it. But what happens is if you have like certain videos and how they all goes, you just put a bunch of videos in there and just sort of set them free at a certain audience of people, and they'll all just see them all. So that'll happen. It just depends how much like cash you put into it.
Well, I think we started $10 a day per video, and then the first video we actually cranked it, I think 25 a day to get a big people in the first pool. Yeah. And then it went $10, and the third and fourth video weren't producing very well, so we actually upped it. So my ad guy's like, he's like, let's just do like a fuckload, let's do like $50 a day for a couple of days to really funnel these people in. So we should start to hopefully see some results in the next few days from now. People are actually starting to see the ad to get the book. Oh yeah. And then we're getting emails, phone numbers, name, and the tripwire they get is a $47 into my virtual event, which is on tomorrow.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. So I'm cranking like a 3.5 hour virtual event once a month. And then from there, I just give a fuck ton of value. And then I gift everybody a free call at the end. I'm like, not a sales call, no fucking sales call. Because like my theory is like, I'm just gonna tease the shit. I'm gonna let you know everything that we have, and there's a party happening over here, and these people are awesome. How can I help you? And then it always happens where they'll be like, can you tell me more about your shit? I said, yeah, we can book in a call and talk about it, but I'm not gonna sell you here. And then they say like,
that goes against everything, and it's so genius. I love that so much. Hey, come and call. Let's have some value.
If you can fully, I focus on, like, I love selling, but I love influencing. I like to sell people where they go, I made the decision, you didn't make me make it. And it's been, how can you, like Inception, how can you really get in someone's head and help them know that they want that and that you have that? You know what I mean? Versus being like, what's your pain? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if you don't take action now? I'm like, dude, this is what's fucking happening. You want in or what? We're partying, man. Yeah,
I like that strategy so much.
Yeah, so that I'm just want to fucking like take over, bro. I'm fucking
Why?
just like, I just want like, you look at like what Kerwin's done. Like no one's doing it here in Australia. Mm-hmm. Look at America.
It's crazy
in
America.
Like fucking grand, like and we're so lucky here because like there's no competition. Like you look at Kerwin Ray, like he's huge in Australia, but compared to Americans, he's nothing still. He's got 1 million followers on Facebook. He's only got 200 or 300 on Instagram. Fucking, you're not even in the conversation really over in America yet, you know. But over here, you're like, Kerwin's the man. So it's just up for the taking. So like, so I want to truly solidify myself as like the personal development go-to fucking guy for millennials and Gen Zs here in Australia, and create so much movement there, and then start to tap into the US with like, so I'll come to the US with a story like, hey, I've built fucking multiple 7-figure business. Like we're on track to hit 7 figures my first year for cranking this new, like I started running the events in November, you know, and it's going well.
Nice.
So fucking make moves, baby. So that's the next step now. Just ads. I'm like, we just fucking, it's funny because everyone's just making up as you go along. You know? Like I'm like, who do you, like I come into this because I've always modeled success, and then I come into this and I'm like, who do I ask for advice? And people are like, I don't know, just try this. I'm like, what do you mean try? Like, isn't there, show me these steps. And like, well, there's no steps. It's sort of like, you just play with it all. I'm like, so I'm just fucking gambling? Yeah, true.
Pretty much. There's so much crazy stuff, like from my limited knowledge of it. Because like essentially what I almost do for a job now, yes, personal development coach, but also, yes, I basically run ads and do sales, but I only limitedly know what works for me, and I just keep that. But the thing is just like with Facebook and everything, it's just consistently updating. So it's like this whole, and one thing that I noticed was like, if you've got essentially like a real good video that would like either blow up on TikTok or it's going to blow up on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it is, if you run that as an ad, it's also going to blow up on there too, because it's real weird. It's like the less ad costs or the more clicks and the more impressions and people watching the video, then it doesn't cost as much. Facebook go, woohoo, we want to put this out there to everybody because everybody's clicking on it. Yeah. So it's like, it comes down to like quality content as well. And then it just blows my mind what an insane machine that is, that can be taken advantage for everything. Like, I don't understand. I don't know what the laws are for Facebook, but I've thought about this for dating. I'm like, people could do really well running ads for dating to like try and find their dream person, because they would be exposed to so many people. And you could tell them like,
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, dude. Think about it all the time.
I like long walks on the beach and marketing campaigns.
Yeah. That is so funny, man.
I resell like crazy every day.
Yeah, literally. But honestly, like, I'm not sure, because Facebook bans a lot of things. I don't know. If anyone's listening, please let us know if this is legit. But
are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording. We're recording. Please, like, if you could let us know if someone's run ads through dating before and succeeded, because oh my God, it'd be so funny. It's like the whole get some leads in.
Fucking love it, man.
Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, that's the next spot of like, I'm fascinated on that, man. Like, but I think like that is the, not slap in the face, but I guess the awakening that you start business. You're like, I like this, I'm passionate about, and then you actually need to become head of marketing.
It literally, every time that I think of that, sorry to interrupt again, but oh my God, every time anything comes down to business or whatever it is, it's just like, marketing and it's your responsibility.
It is. It is. Like, you look at Grant, like, anyway,
bro.
You look at Grant Cardone, he's not a sales guy. He can sell.
Yeah.
Not even that, like, he's good, but there's people in the world who are way better, but he's a marketer. He's
a good one.
Here's the thing, if your marketing's so good, you don't need to sell.
Yeah.
Most people focus on selling. I focus on just marketing and delivery of content, and it sells itself. Like, yeah, you need some skills and shit, but you know, it's like, fuck. Like, look at Grant. He doesn't really need to sell. It's like, come to 10x. Okay. You don't need to ask why. You just know, you just get there because it's Grant.
Yeah, literally.
Like, and like my events too, I need to convince people, not convince, I need to influence them. It's like, here's what you got to get from me. Here's why you need to come, blah, blah, blah. Because people don't know me much yet. But Grant's just like, 10x, come. Oh, boom, baby. Don't be a little bitch. You know, and
everyone's like, yes, I'm coming. Let's get rid of the bitch.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, so should we record an episode? Or?
Yeah, we're on. Why are you motivated to do this stuff?
Are we fully started?
Yeah, I might as well just go. Might as well just be on.
What do you want to talk about
conversation,
in this episode?
Oh, you, bro, I guess. What's going on? Tell me this virtual event. Talk to me about it.
The virtual event. So here's the thing. I 21 years old. I started network marketing as I was a carpenter. And I wanted to create a way to get out of my job and all that sort of stuff. And then I think last episode I can't remember what we talked about.
Yeah.
So I'll try not to revisit shit. But 23 years old, I created financial freedom. I was completely locationally dependent.
How'd you do it? Investing? Was it?
No, through network marketing.
Oh, through network marketing.
Yeah. So I moved to Mexico. I was living in Bali. I was doing all this epic shit. And then up until COVID, I made income online, live wherever I wanted. I had full freedom, right? And COVID happened. All this shit happened. Blah, 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 blah. I started my podcast and I started really getting passionate about building out what is Dream Out Loud. It was like, how can I turn the vision I've got in my head, the ideas, the passion and burning desire to freaking put it out? And how I thought about it was, I'll start the podcast and we'll kick it off here. The one thing led to another. I started doing these. We did a couple of events. I was just tipping my toes into a couple of different areas to see, like, what do I really want to dive into? And then in November, I ran my first Dream Out Loud method. where I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to develop a 3-day program, the Dream Out Loud method, where I teach people, like, not just teach people, but actually help them unlearn. Because I think that we have a plethora. Is that the right word?
I think so.
My English isn't very good. I failed fucking everything through school. I'm dyslexic shit, right? But it's like, we have so much knowledge out there. So it's not, we don't have an information problem. We have a lack of implementation problem. And we also have a problem of learning the wrong shit.
Yes, so
most,
true.
like, you know what I mean? Like, most people have just been programmed all this shit. Fear's bad, money's bad, success is bad, don't stand out, and all this type of shit. Settle for mediocrity and do all this. We've been programmed for this. So my goal is to help them. If they're really going to create a life that's extraordinary, they've really got to unlearn shit. Unlearn limitations, unlearn values that have been put onto them, unlearn identities that they've told themselves, labels, blah, 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 blah. All this type of shit, right? So the 3-day event is just freaking, like, completely transformational on every single level. It's amazing. But what happened was, that happened in November. We tested it. We really kind of started the events business then. Went really well. Like, I was wearing every single hat at the event. I was the event manager. I was the coordinator. It was a nightmare.
Draining, I could imagine.
Yeah, it was like I was dead on day 3. I was like, fuck. So we took some feedback, blah, 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 did the things again, started running some more 1-day events. Then we had our second 3-day event in March this year. That went really freaking good. We feel these things completely organic, and it's been amazing. Because here's the thing. It's one thing, we always believe that our product's great, of course. So I was like, but I also know that to put the ego aside and listen to the customer. So we ran the event. The first one was cool. I was like, well, maybe they're just saying it's good because they, like, felt sorry for me as my first event or whatever. And the second one, I literally saw transformation in people's whole bodies and eyes and everything from day 1 to day 3. And they did not stop talking about the event for about a month or 2 after. I just saw the chats just going crazy still. And people are still, like, in other programs with us now from the event, and they're riding this wave. And I've seen transformation in people in the last 3 months. And I was like, this is freaking amazing. And then what I realized I did to myself was, like, I fucked myself up here. Because I created a business that's locked me in Australia.
Ooh.
If I have an events business that I've committed to running events here, and I'm here, I need to be here physically to run them. And I don't like virtual events. Like, I'm trying to stand for the OGs and be like, let's bring live events back. We have something really exciting coming up in September. We should chat about it, actually. And so what I did was, I'm like, I got a really big passion for this, but I've also got a big audience base in the US and Europe and all this sort of stuff. And they were like, Morgan, we want to do, like, they want to come to the events, but it's just, they got to fly over. COVID, Australia, we're living in North Korea right now.
Is that why you're traveling? North Korea right now?
All right. Like, people just can't get into Australia like they used to,
Yeah.
It ain't like it used to be,
Yeah.
Which is kind of good as well, because I'm really just, I'm doubling down, like I was saying. I don't know when we started recording this episode, but it might be in the episode of what I was already talking about, but there's such an amazing opportunity right now for people like us, creators and the up and coming, because the big guys, they can't get into Australia right now, and we need it. People need it.
That's so true, man. It's so true. It's a good way to look at things.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So I did this, long story short, why the Life by Design Summit this weekend? Why a virtual event when I don't like virtual events? Is because, my whole purpose of Dream Out Loud is to turn dreams into reality. It's to turn dreams into reality and to create entrepreneurs. Like, that's what I've actually seen. I'm like, what do I really do here? I'm like, I'm pulling out, I'm finding the people that are hungry, the people that have that burning desire inside. They're like, I want to do something, but they go, how do I do it? My friends don't believe me. I don't believe me. What is it? Where's my people? Am I weird? No, you're not weird. Well, maybe a little bit.
But that's completely okay.
We are all a little bit weird. Like, yeah, I am fucking weird. I just believe in people's absolute massive potential. I think that's a bit weird. But what I also think is weird is people believe in lack of potential. I think people believe in being mediocre. I think people believe that, if you just, the goal of life is to just get by. Like, I think that's also pretty fucking weird. So it's not a matter of what's weird or not. It's about choosing what weird are you going to choose, So I created the Life by Design Summit. So it's just available for people all around the world. I'm like, how can we do this? We do a 3.5-hour event. I'm going to do it once a month. It's not and this is, I just want to change how shit's been done. You know what I mean? Like you're in the space as well. You see so many people like free masterclass, free webinar, free 5-day challenge. And for sure that most people are going to give you like 10% of value 50% are just fluff and shit, and then 40% is trying to sell down your face. And I'm like, so I just do things so different. I'm like, I'm gonna give you 100% value, 0 sell. You're gonna be aware of what else we do, but my goal is this: you're gonna come in, you be like, this is fucking great, I want to do more. Or you're gonna be like, this is fucking great, I don't need anything else, I just got everything I needed, which is also great. Or you'll be like, I don't like this guy, I never want to talk to him ever again, which is also really great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, so the goal is like just deliver so much fucking value to help them get real transformation in 3.5 hours. I'm pretty good at it. I like it. I'm passionate about it. And I want people to really just get off there and be like, if I never see this guy again, I will remember that day for the rest of my life. But my intention is to work with people for a lot longer, because if I can do that in 3.5 hours, imagine what we can do in 6 months or a year together, or across a 3-day event, right? So that's sort of the goal with that. So I wanted to COVID proof my business again.
Is that why you're traveling now? Like, set yourself the challenge, or?
No, I'm fucking travel, man, because I don't like winter.
But you're in the Gold Coast, bro. It's like hardly winter here.
Right, it was like 13 degrees the other day. Fuck that, man. I'm used to living on an island in Bali, bro. You know, like that's the life I create. Like when I sat back and I'm like, what life do I want to live? It's like 30-degree days every day. I won't wear a shirt if I don't want to wear a shirt. I'm in shorts. When I go to the gym, I sweat my ass off, and I'm in the pool every day. That's living for me. Go to a waterfall every day. It's too cold to go to the fucking waterfall. You know what I mean? So, but you know, like I'm traveling just because I've got, like, my life was in Bali, you know, before COVID, and I'm going back there to see my dogs, see a bunch of friends. I'm so freaking fired up, and also because people are there, man. Like, you should go over there as well. Like, everyone's just creators.
It's crazy.
Like
I got some friends over there.
Yeah,
it's
like
nuts.
you're either there, like you can't be in Bali. You're either there because you've just saved up a heap of cash and you're bumming it, and you're trying to find a way to build a business or be an entrepreneur, which is cool because you're ambitious people. Or you're just full being a gypsy and you got like no money and you're bumming it, which is very rare. They usually live up on the mountain. Or you're doing big shit. You know, you're either there up and coming doing stuff, or you're doing big shit. So it's everyone there is talking about, you know, like it's just everyone's talking about creating and doing and all this stuff. And here people are talking about fucking, you know, the girls they picked up on the weekend, or just doing the same shit again. Oh, it's Friday, out with the girls. It's like, dude, you're 32 years old. Like, I'll fucking say it. Like, you're 32 years old and you're going out binge drinking on a weekend. Like, you do not binge drink. I'll say it. You do not binge drink if you're older than about 20, if you actually love yourself and have a fulfilling vision of your life.
Boom. It's a bit of truth to swallow for a lot of people.
100%, man. Because they're escaping. And I fucking did for years. I really stopped properly drinking like just a few years ago, because there was still things inside of me. I was like, like, it was a vice. It is a vice. Drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, all this shit's a vice.
Overworking,
right?
people pleasing.
But that's the thing. Like, I see this here big on the Gold Coast because I spent years traveling around like big fucking hustles doing some good stuff. And I come back here and like I caught up with people who I used to be friends with here 5-6 years ago, and we go out to dinner and they're talking about the same shit, working the same jobs, doing the same things on the weekend. Oh, you should come into the bar. Why would I want to come to the bar? I don't know. Come to Belly Pub. Why? Like, I'd rather, like, I'll read a book, watch YouTube videos, or I'll just recharge on a Friday night, or I'll go spend time with quality friends. But last thing I'm going to be doing is going out and just getting fucking shit-faced and feeling like crap for a day after.
2 or 3
You
days.
know?
When you start approaching like 30 plus, man, it lasts way longer than a day.
When I turned 20, I think I was like, when I turned 26, I realized, like, man, this 2-day hangover thing's legit.
It's legit. I hate it so
Sucks.
bad.
But you know what stopped me though from drinking so much? Like, I used to, like, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So when I used to party, I don't fuck around either. Like, I go hard, really hard. That's why I just stay away. I read a quote somewhere before. It's like, the most successful people in the world aren't necessarily more disciplined than you and I. However, they just don't put themselves in situations of where they can be distracted.
Or tempted, yeah.
Right? So my goal isn't to get around the scene and not drink. If I'm around the scene, I'm going to drink. Like, but I just choose not to get around the scene because I'm like, I have a bendy arm sometimes. I like to have some fun, you know, so I just won't do that, you know? But what happened was this. I sat down, I worked out. I was like, what do I want to create in this life? How much am I really worth? And I set the goal. It's like, you know, like, this is a while ago. I should probably even change the goal now because it's changed totally. But I worked out. I was like, what's my big like 10x goal? You know, I'm like $100,000 a week. That's what I want to get to, right? 100K a week. And then I worked out that based off the days of the week that I want to work, like how often I want to work and all that sort of stuff. One day was worth to me about $15,000, right? Which is, I think, because I worked on it every day.
Yeah.
I love it. So one day, okay, so if we work out this, right, and this is how we can make way better decisions in our life. The first thing is people don't actually know how much they're worth. So they don't know that the action that they're doing is costing them. They don't know what it's costing them. So if you don't know what it's costing you, you'll just do whatever you want. So I worked that out. I'm like, okay, so my goal is this, making $5.2 million a year. I can make $100,000 a week. So that, therefore, I forget, what is that per day?
Oh man,
I haven't talked about it in so long.
It's 100 divided by 7, whatever it is.
What is that?
Well,
why do I think it's
$10,000 a day, 70K.
Oh yeah, so it's 14. So it's 14%.
14, yeah.
So I think I worked it out on about the hours or something I want to put into the week, right? Something like this. Long story short. So what I worked out was this: if I want to make $100,000 a week per day, to me, it's worth roughly $15,000. So if I'm going to go out and get shit faced, and I'm going to get wasted at a bar, and I'm going to spend an entire day and maybe now 2 days recovering, and I can't perform at my elite, I can't perform at my peak, that's costing me $15,000 to $30,000. Helps you make a decision, right? Now, since I made that decision, I could probably count on one hand how many times I've been super drunk. That was probably like 4 years ago I made that decision. Because when I have got super shit-faced, one time it was an accident. I'll show that one. That was funny. But one time I just got accidentally drunk. Cali Beach Club Open. It was a write-off. Me and champagne and day drinking. That's a recipe to just finish it
for a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other times was literally this. It was like one of my friend's weddings. He came over the Bali, and it was just a big hoorah, and like 100 people came over. And I was like, okay, tonight's gonna be a big night, and I'm gonna be hungover tomorrow. Is that worth 15 grand? Yeah. That's a good time. However, it's not worth that every single weekend. But apart from that, it really, and then one of the other times was we were in Maui playing golf with a bunch of, we're playing golf with, it was on a company holiday, right? So it took about 500 of the company's top income earners over to Maui, paid for everything. So there's 500 like millionaires there pretty much. Playing golf with a whole bunch of millionaires, and then they started drinking. So 2 Canadians and 2 Aussies playing golf, right? What do you get? You don't get the 18th hole. That's what you get. That's what you get, right? Because these guys just start going, okay, let's get beers. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, okay, sure, we'll have a beer. And then the next hole, they try to one up. Oh yeah, let's get a shot. A shot of what? Canadian whiskey. Oh, mate. So it was just a fucking write-off. However, the friendships that got created on that trip, the conversations that happened have made me so much money, right? But people don't think like that though. They just think like, I'm just going to go out and get wasted with the girls, with the guys, blah, blah, blah. And they only do it because of 1 or 2 reasons, or maybe both. They do it because they don't fully love themselves, and they don't appreciate themselves. Well, the second one is they don't have a fulfilling, powerful vision of their life, and they care about their future. They're just living in the moment because they read some quotes. Live in the moment, man. And they're doing all this stupid shit.
Yeah.
And they're fucking their life up because they're not thinking about like I live in the moment. However, I have a crystal clear vision of where I'm going, and
you're pulled to it.
Yeah, I'm pulled to it, but that helps me make quality decisions in the moment, right? But if we don't have that, if we don't know what we're doing, I had a conversation with my dad yesterday. It was funny as fuck. And we're talking about. I said to him, man, like this. I've started this company this year, and I've pretty much done a business degree in the last 6 months. Like I've learned so much. It's crazy. And he goes, you should do like some RPL and get that all written up and get some certificates and stuff. I said, the fuck would I want certificates? And
can I stop you there real quickly? So funny. I've got business degrees and project management degrees, and I hire my friends to coach me on business who have no degrees all the time. And I was like, I value that because it helped me learn like so many skills to help create and do all my own stuff and think deeply. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So, and I'll explain why in a moment. For that, it's a fascinating thing. But he says like you get an RPL, blah blah blah. And I said, why would I want that? He said, because an employer is going to look really good on a resume. I said, I've never had a resume. And then he goes, but you might want one. So you've always got to have he's always been super conservative, right? Like always have your plan B. He goes, because you never know what you're actually going to be doing in 5 years from now. I said, I know exactly what I'm fucking doing in 5 years. I'm the employer. Like I know exactly, that's the difference between me and most people. I create my future. I know exactly what I'm doing. Most people wake up and they're like, oh, what do I do this week, this year, this month? Oh shit, it's already past another month, half through the year now. Where I'm on track. I'm ahead of track actually. And how do I know it? Because I reverse engineer my 5 years. I have 5 year vision. I reverse the year. And I reverse into quarters. That's why I know how to do. What am I focusing on this quarter?
I'd like to talk about that process. Please tell me about that process.
Okay, so what do I do with this? I have done a 10-year vision. I got this idea first. So my friend Joel Brown. Do you know Joel Brown?
I don't know Joel Brown. Is he a stud?
He's a stud. He's a good dude. So he's got the Addicted to Success podcast. He built out like one of the #1 motivational platforms in the world.
I've seen that podcast. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the first podcast I've listened to. He's, it's definitely helped the people he's interviewed and stuff. And now we've become friends, and he's a really cool dude. And so he first told me this 10-year vision that he created, and he learned from Jordan Belfort. So he did a program with Jordan Belfort, and Jordan's like, you got to have 10-year vision.
You gotta have
My
that
name is Jordan Belfort.
I love it. We ain't fucking leaving.
And in my 10-year vision, I did not anticipate going to jail. Right? No. But Jordan's savage. Like, regardless of, what he did was illegal, but he's a fucking savage, okay? So when it comes to playing that stuff, this is where it's come from, right? So then I did a 10-year vision with Joel, and it took a lot of effort. Like, it was tough to really put together. So now what I do when I teach, I teach 5 years. So pretty much we'll future pace of 5 years, and we'll think about what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? Like, what is it? And we literally construct it into like 3 parts. Okay, so we construct into what does it really look like, feel like, taste like, all this sort of stuff, right? We construct into 3 parts. So we chunk it down. So like, what's the big picture of it? So think big picture. What's the big picture of this thing? I've got this, I'm making this much, my company's doing this, blah, blah, blah. Then we just chunk it down one bit. We get a little bit more descriptive. So I've got this car, and it's got, I've got this white G-Wagon with big black rims and red calipers, and we're getting so descriptive. So you just chunk it down and get a little bit more descriptive. And the third part, this is what I've added in. So the third part is this: we positively justify it. See, most people justify every single day, right? And but they justify in a negative way. So they say things like, well, I can't achieve that. How come, Johnny? Oh, because I've never done that. My family didn't. And they justify, and they justify, and they justify, and they justify, and they justify. And then their brain believes them because it's got reason. Right? It's actually the use of So we create all our own problems with language.
Oh, dude, I love that so
right?
much.
So so when we say things as simple as, so it's like the cause and effect thing. Okay, so this causes this means that. So we say things like, well, I can't have that because this. Our brain actually just goes, makes sense.
Yeah, you're not going to get it. You're not going to be in the right mood or whatever it is, talk to the right people.
Okay, but then what happens is it actually creates these things in our brain called scotomas, because then our reticular activating system won't actually ever look for opportunities to prove that wrong because it believes that it won't happen. So what do I mean by this? It's like, if we believe that I can't do it, like if we believe literally I'm just not strong enough, there's just a thing that's not strong, we're not going to look for a strength and conditioning coach that was right. It's our best friend. We're going to look for those shakes that could improve our body, right? We're not going to do these sorts of things because it's not in our awareness. Our reticular activating system is only going to find things that bring evidence to provide truth to the things that we believe is true, right?
The science of law of attraction.
Yeah. So what I do, I use this. So I'm like, well, that's how the brain works. How can I use it for me? Okay. And that's what I've spent the majority of the last decade just studying human behavior and how do we use the science of this $1 trillion piece of machinery in our head for us. Okay. And the third part of it is I positively justify. So I say things like this, in 5 years time, I'm making $1 million a month. And we're we're doing this because I've invested in myself every single year after year after year. I've stretched myself daily. I've gotten up and I'll work on days when I don't feel like doing it. I've gone and pushed the boundaries. I've pushed my comfort zone. I've done this because I'm just a fucking machine. And I say all these things. I positively justify. I have this goal because I've done this. Now here's the real kicker. This will create the thing inside of you, because if you're not already acting like that, you're like, I'm either going to start doing that or I'm going to change my goal. Because you can't fully lie to yourself like that. So when we actually put it in and we're like, let's just say like a health goal, okay? I've won WMBFF ABCDG, whatever they're called.
Sounds like a real similar goal of mine.
Whatever they're called, right? So we see it. We first need to see it. We describe it out. I've won this. I've come first place, blah, 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 blah. my muscle mass is this, I'm doing this because I'm the most strictest motherfucker when it comes to meal prep. I'm in the gym every single day because I'm doing ice baths every day, because I'm doing this every single day, because I place my health as a higher priority, because I said no to going out and drinking and eating crappy foods, because I had discipline. That's why. And now your brain goes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm with you. We start to work with you. Now, this is where it gets tricky. We go year 5, then we reverse engineer. So if I have this in year 5, what do I have to do in year 4 to get it? What do I have to do in year 3 to get that? Year 2 to get that? Year 1? And then we go year 1, great. So if I'm going to achieve this at the end of the year, what are we going to do in these next 4 quarters? Break it down. Then we have a quarter. We have 90 days, and I split that into 2. So I go 6-week sprints, and that's how I operate everything I'm doing. So every single 90 days, I'll even do I try to, I'm not a workaholic. I'm just disciplined. I'm hungry, but sometimes.
But you love it as well, so it's like
I do love
recharging.
Yeah. But what I started doing about a year and a half ago was every 90 days, I'd do like a vision trip. So I'd go and turn all my social media off, and I'd go away somewhere. I'd book a holiday for myself for 2 days to 5 or 6 days. Delete all my social media, dopamine detox, take a big notepad and pens and just podcasts and books and stuff. And I just sit and I reevaluate everything I'm proud of, everything that we've done, everything that, I'm happy, I'm grateful for, next goals, what's happening. And really by doing this, most of the time I'm ahead of what I said, because we usually overestimate what we can do in what is it? We overestimate what we can do in 1 year. We underestimate what we can do in 10 years. So most of the time, the 5 years will fall short. So you'll surpass it, but the year's so big. But I'm just aware of that, and I just get realistic. So I think there is definitely an art of setting a proper vision and goal and stuff for your life, and not just being like, okay, well, I'm a fat, lazy piece of shit now, and I'm not doing anything with my life. And in 6 months from now, I'm going to win that body competition. It's like nothing's unrealistic, but come on, are you prepared? Here's the thing. If you're going to set a goal like that, are you prepared to match it with that radical action, responsibility, and behavior that you haven't been doing for so long? So when I've started to do this, things have just started to, that's how I know if I'm on track or not. And it also helps me make decisions. I had a big crypto investment opportunity come to me a little while ago. You should get in this company, to actually partner in the boards and shit. I was like, that sounds really exciting. I could make a lot of money. But it's just a no.
Yeah, it doesn't involve.
And they're like, why? I'm like, it's just not in my vision. That's all well and good. I've got, here's the thing. People think they have to say yes to because if they want to get rich, they want to get wealthy, they think they have to say yes to everything. No. There's so many different vehicles out there. Just choose yours. Choose the ones that bring you excitement, bring you joy, that you're good at, and you're passionate, and you're curious to learn more about. That's what you'll succeed most at. Because you match me up with someone, okay, who I'm focused on building my events business and changing lives. I'm passionate. I'm good at it. I love it. I'm curious about getting better and better and better. And you weigh me up with someone who wants to go and blow it up in crypto and blow a crypto company, but they resent it and they hate it and they hate tech and they hate all that stuff. Who's going to win in 5 years?
20 years.
Me, because it's because here's the difference. You need motivation to get up. I have inspiration. I go every single day. You can't turn me off. I don't want to turn off. I just don't like it. Sometimes my partner's like, what are you thinking about? Growth, baby.
That's it. Yeah.
Every fucking day. And don't make me think that that's a problem. I am obsessed with it. I love it. We all do have an obsessive personality. Most people are just obsessed on the wrong shit. They're obsessed with trying to be better than other people. They're obsessed with trying to be the best. They're obsessed with the gym. They're obsessed with drugs, picking up chicks, right?
But everyone can win.
Yeah. So choose your obsession, right? Kind of going off track here. But let's talk about what I was going to say before. You're saying you got all these business degrees, right?
Yeah.
This is the funny thing. This is the fucking funny thing. I barely finished year 12.
Yeah, dude.
I stayed to year 12 for the parties and the girls. That's the only reason.
Yeah. Right?
Because I knew that at the end of the year, we're going to have the biggest party of the decade.
Yeah.
I'm like, you give me a ticket to that formal. And they said to me, they're like, if your grades don't improve, you're not going to come to a formal. So you bet they got leverage on me. So shit, I better start doing some things, right? So I started cheating a little bit more, right?
I like that.
But what happened was this. I finished school being left thinking that I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I can't read, I can barely write, all these sorts of things. I'm not going to be successful. So I become a carpenter, blah, blah, blah. The rest is history. If you don't know my story, I think I probably covered a lot
It's
of
on
it
my other podcast
in the other
as well,
episode
yeah.
that we did
Yeah.
together. Yeah. And here's the thing. I've always looked for, because the first early years of my life, I took advice from people who I thought I should listen to. Right. And then there was a moment where I switched and I started listening to people who had the life I wanted. I was like, I'm going to now model results. I'm not going to model information. I'm going to model results. And that's never proved me wrong so far. And I continually do that. And this is what I say to people. When people come to my programs, I'm like, I'm not even saying you should listen to me. Like, I'm going to say some cool shit here today. I want you to still challenge it. Like, still challenge what I'm going to say to you. Like, challenge all the information out there, you know? And you need to choose the right people to listen to, because if you choose the wrong person to listen to, they can drastically fuck your life up. Massively. Most people listen to themselves. Not good. Right? That's why having a coach, mentor, all this stuff is it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Like, you need it. If you want to become good at the gym, right? If you want to be jacked as you, right? You need a coach.
You gotta ask somebody, yeah.
You need a coach,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you're competing for a body competition, you'll have a coach, right?
Yeah, every time.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to your life, money, business, people are like, oh, I'm going to learn it from school.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna learn it from YouTube. I'm gonna watch so many YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Just do it all on YouTube. Whoa! You don't have to worry about that. There's just a little thing falling down.
Your editor hates you.
George is a good dude.
But here's the thing. So there's 3 levels of learning. The first level is knowing information. So this is like, I read a book, or I go to an event one time. So somebody comes to my event and I teach about the 4 pillars of creating your dream life, right? And they're like, now I know about that. They hear, you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. I know that. It's also the worst words you can say to yourself is, I know that, because then it blocks out learning anything else, right? But what I'm saying is, when you know information, you know it. You say, oh yeah, I know that. Some of the 5 people you surround yourself with, get a coach. I know that. Okay. The next level of learning is understanding. Okay. So the next level of learning is understanding. So let's say you read all the business books and you're like, I have a very good understanding now of business. Now I'm going to go teach it at a school. I'm going to become a business professor. Okay. And this is what people do. They think, I want to learn business. I want to learn this. I'm going to go learn from a professor. This is where they've been fucked up. They've been lied to their whole life. The system teaches you to just go and learn from someone who understands it. Because the third level of learning is embodiment. Right? I would rather pay $50,000 to learn from Grant Cardone about business than a business education for 4 years at a university.
Like, I know, right? And it's so funny because you do that with Grant Cardone. Well, they'd get you like a month or 2, maybe even that, a week.
Well, I know for a one-on-one with him, it's $30,000.
Oh, there you go.
For an hour.
Yeah.
Right. So let's call it $60,000. I know if I invested $60,000 with him and I came in loaded, I would get way more value for money. I had 2 hours talking with him, who's worth, he managed nearly $6 billion of real estate.
An entire university degree. God damn it.
Right? It's wild, right? But someone, because he fully embodies it.
Yeah.
He's not just talking about shit he read in a book. He's talking about shit that's relevant now. He's like, hey, you know what? A month ago, this was what's working, but this is what's working today. If you're in business today, do this. Right? And I'm not trashing education or anything like that. I think, like, if you've got that available to you, like, and
it depends what you want to do. Is like a physiotherapist, like you got to go and get your damn.
100%.
You got to go get your degree. Like you can't. Business is a bit different.
Yeah, I'm talking specifically business. Yeah. I'm talking about like marketing, especially.
Yeah,
if you go to fucking university. And like, let's talk about marketing. It's like, dude, social media wasn't even a thing when that book was written.
Yeah,
marketing's on social media now, and it's changing daily. But what I'm saying is, learn from people that have the results in life you want. Even if you want to become a physiotherapist, why would you go and learn from, like, if you, like, literally, if I was going to become a physiotherapist, I would want to go and find someone who's got decades of experience in physical therapy.
Yeah.
Physiotherapy. I don't want to just hear from some reading out of a fucking book. I want to read from someone who's done it, who can give me the practical advice and the theory advice. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And most people just look for just that information and they're like, this is all I need. No, go and find someone who's got the fucking results.
Yeah. And
ask them how they did it. Because that's the real track record there.
Do you know Paul Chek? Have you heard of him?
Paul Chek?
Yeah.
No.
He's just a health guru, and he's kicked ass philosophy, health, like a life guru, dude. He's an old fella, but it's so funny because he rings a bunch of stories what he used to do. And he used to, like, sneak into like universities when one of the highest quality teachers were teaching, and he'd go sneak into like the practical events and the lectures when he knew that he wanted to listen to stuff because he got people that he wanted to help and shit, and he'd just go like get kicked out of shit all the time for going in and learning. They're like, you're not supposed to be here, not even the roster for certain things. And I'm like, I just love that dedication for like knowledge from like real people. Yeah. And now he's like the best at the world for what he does with his health shit. So it's like,
I love it, man. Like that's
wild.
Like I do that as much as I can. I look for who's the best. So this year when I've started learning marketing, I've tried to learn as much as I can from Grant Cardone. He's a fucking marketing genius. That's what he is. Gary Vee, the same. You know, and right now I'm wanting to get like expert level in better than I want to become world class in training, speaking, and use of language. So like most people want to go learn NLP, right? Now I'm going to the like Adriana James. Have you ever done NLP?
No, I haven't.
No. So there's two people who are like literally like just the people on the earth. Well, I'll get to the story. The two was OGs left to really teach this to the whole fucking world was Tad James and Adriana James. So Tad James invented timeline therapy, which is fucking amazing.
Heard about that.
He just passed a couple of years ago. So she's left. She's the only one sort of training people to actually be NLP trainers. So when she passes, they'll be left with like people who have just been down passed from, you know, that sort of quality. So I've invested a shit ton of money to go and learn directly from her.
Woo!
So I'm like, so certify me to actually be able to be as good as you and learn fucking everything about like the whole thing. And I'm going to take what's necessary that I want. You know, it's like, that's how I do it.
That's how I do it. Well, it's good because it's good that you get yourself into that position to be able to do that.
Yeah, because anybody can.
Yeah, anybody
Google.
can. True, but also knowing what you want to do, because people obviously can get like lost doing all their stuff because you're so crystal clear. It's like very easy, and it's like, okay, how can I give the most value and with the people that I'm serving, because I know these people want to serve. This is the skills that I need to learn, and I can actually pay to get some skills.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 100%. That's
you can pay to gain skills.
I was thinking about on the car ride here actually, like how I've made more money selling education than I've made doing anything else. Like that's where we are right now. We're living in a world where we want education, we want speed, and we want real education.
Yeah.
Like our generation, people younger than us, we don't want to fuck around in university, college.
Now
they want to be like, if you've done it,
run now.
Yeah, give it to me in an 8-week program.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, or even like put it in a checklist.
Yeah,
then I'll just put in one video and I'll do that.
Like I wanted to learn some TikTok stuff the other day because I got no fuck idea about it, and I saw my friend just, you know, she blew up. I showed you before, like 60K followers in 30 days or something, and she put a little course together for $200 or $400. How she did it? And my only question was, I go, how long is it take me to go through it? She goes, it's a couple of hours. I said, can I speed it up? And she said, yeah. I said, boom, here. I just got one thing from her. I got one thing from her. And she said, post 4 videos a day for 30 days. I said, you could have just fucking told me that. But you know what I mean?
But it was still worth it. There's a value there.
But that's the thing, you know. When we're looking at information, I always go into it going, what's just the one thing I need? Like sometimes people think, oh, what's 10 things? No, what's just one? I even heard that Dan Locke. You know Dan Locke?
I don't know Dan Locke, no.
He's like the closer. He's like a big Asian guy. He's even a bit of a savage too. But
like he's like the sales closer dude?
Yeah. He's like high ticket sales or something like that. And what he says is, he goes, when he picks up a book, he looks for, he finds 3 things he got from it, and then he puts the book down and he's finished. Yeah. He's like, is there any more than 3? He's like, he won't retain it. So he picks up a book. Yeah. Because like, let's just be honest. Like I haven't read a whole fucking book in a long time. If you look at my audio, they're all like 30 to 40% done. Because I just get, wow, it's fucking lit. And then unfortunately I'm on to the next one. But I'll probably revisit it, but that's also the attention span. That's what's happening these days.
It's here.
You know, but like I just, like I'm not going to read an entire book. I'm just going to learn a few things. I'm like, well, otherwise I'm overwhelmed. Confused mind does nothing, right?
Yeah, especially because there's so many goddamn inputs. So you got to be like careful, because when you're off there, it's bah, 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 bah. Yeah. I heard something, I don't know where the statistic was in terms of like the amount of decisions that we make now versus even something like 100 years ago. And it's like astronomical. I could be completely wrong here, but it's something along the lines of like tens of thousands or something, like more decisions we make every day. It's like,
you think like 200 years ago, what are their decisions? They wear the same suit.
Yeah, I know.
They get up, they wear the same suit every day. They get on their one horse they have. They're not comparing because all the horses look the exact same. You know, they'll go hook it up at the bar.
Yeah.
They go to the saloon. They get the same drink.
Yep.
They go home. beat their wives. I don't know. Let's be honest, I don't know. That's probably a thing.
But 200 years ago, you never know.
Yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah.
But like, well, actually, that's I think I could be completely fucking wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that's why prohibition come in, because what they started to realize
Prohibition meaning
like when they took away all the drinking, like no alcohol back in when was it, 20s or 30s or some shit. I heard it was because the dudes would go and get absolutely fucked up and come and bash their wives.
What?
Yeah. And then like I could be completely fucking wrong, right? Like I think it was like a YouTube rabbit hole one day. I love just learning about history and shit. But as far like I could be wrong if someone's like no, actually no, the real reason, like tell me because I'm curious. But that's what I saw, like that they just eventually was like they realized that alcohol would turn dudes into super abusive and shit, so they cut it, and that was the big thing because it's just getting too violent.
And it's crazy now how like everywhere you go there has to be alcohol because people have an addiction to it, and that like we'll go crazy without
We're
it.
Aussie.
Yeah, we are definitely Australian.
Like how else do you catch up with you?
Yeah. Man's got a point.
It's funny that my partner's from Lithuania, and she's like, I didn't like when I got here, like I can't believe how many times, because over in her country, dinners are very like if you go out to dinner, it's for a very special occasion. Here, I go out to dinner just to see my mates, or just because I'm like, it's a Tuesday, let's go out.
Australia, the land of abundance.
Yeah, and she's like, I can't believe how much you just go out to dinner, and I'm like, well, if I want to catch up with friends, let's just all do it at dinner. Like it's just what like I love that. I'm like, let's have dinner and the drinks, and I don't know, like what else do we do? Come to my house, play card games, like. I don't know.
Dinners are pretty much it, eh? And then like you go to all different dinners and like I love it. I love going out to dinner, trying new dinner places and be like, oh, this new dinner, this was really good. This one, so let's go out hang out here. It's so good. What I did was actually worked really well for me was getting an ice bath, because I do like a thing just called Frosty Fridays, and I have like a lot of people come around to my house, jump in an ice bath.
Like, where the fuck is my invite then?
What's up?
Frosty
Fridays. It's on Frosty Fridays.
What's today?
It's on Saturday today. God damn it,
man! I've got my 3-day event next weekend, and then I'm in Sydney, and then I'm in Europe. And
you're gonna have to do like a Frosty Monday or something.
Did you see on Instagram? I said I was like, I'm going to. I love that this podcast is just talking absolute shit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to Bali, right? I'm going to Vietnam, and then I'm like, let's go to Europe, 'cause my partner wants to go to Lithuania, and then I'm like, fuck yeah, we're going to Europe, and I'm thinking every time I go to Europe, I'm like, where do I go? Because it's just like, a kid in a candy store. I'm like, where do I go? And we're going to Turkey first. And then she said to me, she's like, you should go to Israel. It's so close to Turkey. I go, but the problem with that is, if I'm going to go as far as there, I want to go to Egypt. And then if I'm going to be in Egypt, I want to go to like fucking all this other shit.
So you can do it?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So then she'll just like, it's so cool. There's so much history, and I love history. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. So my trip to Europe has now actually turned into a trip to the Middle East and Africa.
Nice.
and then I'm going to fly up and meet her back in Italy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
do Sicily and shit, and I don't know, just have a bunch of fun, and
yeah, dude.
and then come back to Bali.
Dude, so good. I love how it's like, are you starting at Bali and finishing at Bali?
I am, yeah.
You got to. So every time you train, you need like a holiday away from a holiday when you come back. It's a better place to do is Bali.
Hoping that they don't let me back on the flight back home. I'd be so cool.
It's like, you're like, oh,
so
I got to stay. And then you got to come and get really cold in an ice bath. But no, it's worked really well for me for networking, because people were just like, oh, let's go like check this out.
Sick. I'll come do Frosty Fridays in a few months when I'm back.
Yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. Some of them are like pretty wild, because we get like just like so many good, awesome people in there who are just like same mindset, similar goals, all doing business.
That's sick.
Type of things. And then, you got to get like freezing, and you get a big shock after, dopamine release, ideas, things coming up. It's really sick. And then next minute you're standing on.
Yeah, I'll come back and do it when it's just gone a little bit warmer.
It's going to be warmer, yeah. I'll get a sauna just for you. Yeah. So, then, so you can sit there after.
I'll be back for it in September. Dude, speaking of September,
yeah,
you want to hear what we got coming up?
Tell me all about it.
So I've been on a few podcasts this week. So I've said no to every podcast for about 6 months. Even when you come back on the show, I'm like, I'm doing shit.
Oh, it is whatever.
But now, so I've told like thousands of other people so far this week, except my own audience, really.
They're going to hear it from these.
Yeah. But in September, what we're doing is, because what I see is, our generation, we want community, we want consciousness, we want personal development, we want growth, we want abundance, we want entrepreneurship, and we want to learn from people that actually fucking done it. And here in Australia, it's tough to find the OGs. So I'm developing this annual event that's going to happen. It's going to be called Dreamfest.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And it's going to be like multiple speakers. and it's gonna be the fucking best people to talk on shit. And it's gonna be 1-day event. So we're booking this in September. People have to follow me on Instagram to stay in the loop with this one. But I've actually got. Do you know a guy called Daniel G?
I don't.
So Daniel,
you mentioned all these brilliant people, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
where have I been? God damn it.
So here's the thing, because in Australia we live under this fucking rock.
Yeah.
And there's just these cold-blooded, wild people in America. And so Daniel G he's an OG, man. He's like 28 years old. He's like over 1 million followers. He's rated like world's #1 sales trainer. He's just a savage. He's properly just getting shit done. And so he's coming out to be the keynote speaker of the event. It's gonna be amazing. We've got a bunch of speakers. That's gonna be here on the Gold Coast. Whole bunch of fun. So I'm super pumped for that. So part of going away is to sort of just recalibrate and focus solely just on that. Then we come back for this big fuck off event. And, yeah, it's gonna be lit.
I
man.
love that you're so passionate about events, bro. It gets me so
Dude,
high.
it's the fucking best.
It gets me so high. Events are the best.
It's where just lives change.
Yeah.
Like every single event I've attended, I've made massive life altering decisions in the moment. Because when you're fully immersed in the people, and you're outside your normal environment,
And that energy as well.
the energy that you hear things, right? And you just take on different suggestions, and you're like, boom, light bulb change. That's why like Tony Robbins even says, he's like, you should do 1 full immersed event a year minimum.
Yeah.
And for the last probably 6, 7, 8 years now, I've probably done like 2 to 3 full immersed events a year.
What's been your favorite?
Mind.
Yeah. I love it. Of course.
No, to be fair, mine's super fucking fun. Like, obviously, like I've got a shit ton of experience of doing it and seeing it and training it myself. So I've put in what I think is the best. I wouldn't do anything less than what I think is great. But someone else's Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins was just properly world class. Like, the dude's just a god. Like 40 something years he's been doing this for, man.
Yeah, he's just too good. He's a master of the craft.
Date with Destiny is fucking stupidly good.
Oh God, I
Yeah.
love it so much. Well, if everyone is listening, where can they find you if they haven't heard you before?
Yeah. Okay.
How can they sign up to this damn Dreamfest?
Boom, boom. So three things. I want to give everybody a gift here as well.
Woo!
Are you ready?
Yep.
Are you guys ready? Whatever camera I'm on.
You gotta look at this one.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go. So, swipe up. Okay. So where all you guys can find me is Instagram. Go to @MorganTNelson. That's the best place. Hit me there. I reply to all my messages personally there. Otherwise, we've got I think it's called just Dream Out Loud Family is the other account. I'm not as active, like the team run that one, so I'll just be honest. I reply on my one. @MorganTNelson, go there. TikTok's now a thing.
Woo! 4 videos a day, value, baby.
Yeah. We're going. But my podcast, Dream Out Loud, which I gotta have you on, bro.
Yeah, keen as.
Let's fucking do it.
Yep.
Let's do that. So Dream Out Loud, my podcast is all personal development, success. It's fucking lit. I've had some amazing guests on there. I've had like Les Brown on there, Cohen Ray's on there. You hooked me up with our boy, Man from Mars.
Oh yeah, John Gray.
Yes! He was an interesting fella.
Yep.
And what I want to give everybody, so I've had a heap of people. So obviously for the last 6 months, I've sort of condensed what exactly is it that I do and how can I give it to people in the simplest form to create massive transformation. That's what I think about all the time. Like, how can I create massive impact, massive transformation in the shortest amount of time possible for the lowest barrier of entry? So I just wrote a new book. I wrote it in a few hours, like I was telling you, right? I was down in Sydney and I just punched it out one night. And so it's called The 5 Keys to Freedom. So people that want to actually create a life of personal and financial freedom and, without having to beg, steal, cheat, lie, or anything like that, even if they've got no fucking idea where to even start here. So I'm going to give everybody that book for free. It's an ebook. They can get it. They can download it. They hit the link wherever you place
I'll put the link in all the shit.
All the places. You get the link. Jump on there. Yeah, that was just my intention. I'm like, how can I just brain dump a few hours of shit into a book to help these guys just fucking take a leg up and go that next level?
Value. I love it.
That's
so
it,
much.
baby. That's what I'm about.
I also like to challenge all the listeners who've listened to
here
this
we
podcast, just so they can take action on something, either like today, this week, whatever it is, so that way they can leave and go like, oh, I've learned something. Like, oh, I can do something in regards to all the stuff that we've saying. So what would you like to challenge them to do?
Create your 5-year vision. Yeah, like I literally guys, I did give you guys the framework. Yeah, because here's the thing, like if you don't have a vision of the future, you'll repeat beliefs, you'll repeat memories from the past. And most people are living a life that they're not too happy with, and they're not going to be too happy to repeat the past. So if you want to create drastic change in your life, get clear on exactly what you want to create. And, so develop that 5-year vision. I gave you guys a framework. Think to yourself this: if I had all the time and all the energy and all the money in the world, what would I want to do, have, and B, right? What is that life? Get super clear on it, get descriptive, and then positively justify to yourself why you're actually going to do that. Reverse engineer it. This is going to help you make effective decisions every single day. When opportunities present themselves, you know the difference between an opportunity or a distraction, right? And the people you should hang out with and the people you should not hang out with, you'll be able to do that effectively and know within yourself and be like, I feel really good about that decision because that's in alignment with my vision. Do that. That's your challenge. And get the book.
Boom. There we go. Thanks for coming on, brother.
All good. Love you.
So good, bro.